Welcome to the ceremonial signing of Prairie Quest Consulting in the United States Army Partnership for Youth Success PAYS program. I would like to at this time thank all of our honored guests, family, friends, and employees of Prairie Quest Consulting. I would like to thank the presiding official over today's ceremony, Deputy Commanding Officer of the United States Cadet Command, Colonel Brian J. Minnis, for taking out of his busy schedule to help us celebrate this important partnership. Colonel Brian Minnis graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York, and was commissioned as an infantry officer in May of 1988. His professional military education includes the Infantry Officer Basic and Advanced Courses, Command and General Staff College, and a U.S. Army War College Fellowship at the Institute of World Politics and the United Kingdom's Higher Command and Staff course. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from the USMA and a Master's in Military Art and Science from CGSC. At this time, I'd like to introduce Deputy Commander General Cadet Command, Colonel Minnis.
Thank you. And first of all, I appreciate that, Rob. You know, probably the most significant thing about you know, people say I'm going to read your bio is that I've had an opportunity to lead your friends, sons and daughters, folks that you care for as they come through PAYS, and you know, a lifetime of awesome service. You know, I've had the great opportunity. Most recently, commanded Brigade in 82nd. Before that, I commanded 1st Ranger Battalion. Before that, I commanded Battalion in 82nd. And I was always terrifically humbled by the folks that would come and serve to us, particularly where we are, sort of in this country, where we are in the war, right? And so part of what I thought was fascinating that sort of connects this event to us in the field, myself as a leader, is that I was always interested in working with our folks to help them realize their dreams. You know, whether that dream was to be you know, a first sergeant or a sergeant first class, a platoon sergeant, or, you know, so there was big dreams and there was little dreams, or, you know, whether I wanted to be an astronaut, work for NASA, or I wanted to, you know, be the President of the United States, whatever that was, we were always hopeful to help them first identify that, and then, of course, most importantly, if you're sort of a life coach or a mentor, is help steer folks the right way, right? Not just good enough to say, hey, Johnny, you want to go to NASA? Good luck to you. You know, get out and get after it. So I found things like this a very valuable resource, the PAYS programs and programs like it, so I could share with soldiers about what they could aspire to, and then, of course, how to get there. You know, dozens and dozens of counseling sessions where someone would say, hey, you know, I want to get out and I want to do X. I said, well, you got a plan. I mean, you have your resume built. You know, are you sure you have the attributes that the industry is looking for you? And usually the answer was, I don't know, right? And I was certainly happy if they wanted to stay in the Army, but I was also happy that they wanted to go, hopefully, out to their communities and maybe enrich their community with some of the things that they may have learned in this great leadership lab called the United States Army. You know, because we try to help inspire folks to live up to being a person of honor. We hope that in their leadership style they you know, attract people to how they roll, you know, how they do things, that, you know, they are people that are trustworthy, you know, they are people that are reliable, they are people that, you know, folks look to for strength, they are people of character, they're people of selfless, and on and on and on. And the great thing about the Army is, you know, we don't have much of a bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Our bottom line is really, really soft. It's about leadership. It's about a climate in the organization. It's about producing combat-efficient forces. And, you know, it's really, really difficult to measure that. But one thing I always found sort of easy to measure is how we do develop leaders. You know, how I saw people talk to each other, how I saw them grow up as young men and women to deal with others. And I thought that, you know, that was the best part about serving, and that was the best part of watching young people grow up. And even if those people, as I said, hopefully go on to be leaders of character out in their community, you know, I was always really, really excited about that because I thought that would be our connection to the Army and our connection to the nation. General Odierno actually asked us very recently, myself, General Combs, and a couple others in the room, is how can we help connect America to her Army? Because, as you know, very low percentage of Americans serve. You know, it's a numbers thing. One, you know, we can't afford many more than we probably have, as you know. But a lot of people are not propensed to come join us. And so our U.S. Army Cadet Command, we run the Junior ROTC program, helping raise young Americans to be better Americans. You know, it's not tied to service in their high schools. Over 1,700 high schools in the nation. And we're on 1,100 campuses for ROTC Command. And so I said, hey boss, you know, we have our PMSs, our instructors really are the ambassadors of our Army out there. And I think folks who leave here and join industry out there are also ambassadors for the Army. Last sort of short story, I was recently a fellow, which I'm not sure I know what that means. These are all my smart people, these are my IT people. You know, they say, hey Brian, you're going to be a fellow. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm qualified, you know, to be a fellow. And I still don't know what it means. I was there for a year, sort of. But I was really often sort of flattered when I'd be in a room in a think tank, dressed in a suit or whatever I was dressed in, and I'd have a dialogue with somebody and they say, what do you do? I said, I'm in the Army. And they said, get out. And that, for Army folks, that's sort of significant, is that, you know, the stereotype they may have of folks like me, infantry officer, combat leader, is actually, as you guys know so well, we can hopefully bridge that gap and fit into any culture, whether that culture is in Afghanistan or culture is in a place called DC, right? Yeah, exactly. So, again, it's my honor to be here today. You remember, you know, this is sort of significant to me. Is, you know, I got to meet Stacy today. I'm real happy that there's things like out there for our Army. I talked to some of my veteran friends who were around in Vietnam era, and it's a different feel in the country now. And I'm just grateful for folks like you, who, despite what we think about the war, you know, everybody's supporting soldiers, right? And so we're very, very comfortable with the dialogue that's happened nationally, where we should be, when we should go. I certainly think that's more or less healthy. But I think what's really healthy is that the support the nation shows my soldiers and me, frankly, and it's really comforting that being a soldier in America's Army is still something that the nation honors and respects. So with that, I'd like to say thanks again, and I'll turn it back over to Rob. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the 513th PAYS Partner, Miss Stacy Smith.
So, 5 years ago, when I first started looking at the PAYS program, the part that impressed me was the fact that PAYS turned and was a recruiting tool that allowed soldiers to be able to enter and go into the commerce environment after they left the program. And to me, it was such a natural fit, because having been somebody who's worked in government all my life, most of, the part that I find interesting is that there are so many resources and so many valuable things that come out of this kind of environment that are so critical that people who own businesses are looking for and seeking out, and this was a natural conduit. It only took us 5 years to actually become a PAYS program partner, and we're very pleased because we're really committed to this program and to the idea of what it does. People go into the Army and they seek out to change their life, to be a part of something and to serve. And that word is such an important thing, because in business today, that's what people like I am looking for. I'm looking for people who want to serve, to be prosperous, to provide for their family, and to look out after the resources that we do in them. And that is one of those things that why we have, out of our 160 staff members, 3/4 of the people who work for us are soldiers. We're very fortunate. We support Cadet Command in the ROTC program. We also do a lot of work here, and we see every day the characteristics and the values that are embedded in every soldier that we come across And we emulate those and we appreciate everything you do. We're excited to be a PACE partner, and we're really glad to take care. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I would like to give a brief explanation of the U.S. Army Partnership for Youth Success program to those of you that don't understand the program. So the Partnership for Youth Success program is a program where the United States Army partners with corporate America, and as I briefed our presiding official, the first thing I said was that the PACE program, more than anything else, is an incentive program. It's an incentive for that young person joining the Army. It's an incentive for the USAREC. It's an incentive for Cadet Command, and it's an incentive for Hometown America. So corporate America partners with the Army, and they agree, they signed a memorandum of agreement that they will give a young person enlisted in the Army that qualifies a job interview upon completion of their first term of service, and if they're in the reserves when they get home from initial entry training. For Cadet Command, for the ones in the reserves, when they come home from training and complete all their training, they're guaranteed 2 interviews. So, I mean, can we get a round of applause for that? So, as you can see, this program, we haven't scratched the surface with this program, but we're out there. We got 6 marketers out there that scour the country looking for corporate partners to hire young men and women from Hometown America to get them back to Hometown America. And it's a veterans program, so we need everybody's support. Cool? All right. So at this time, we're going to do our memorandum of agreement signing that solidifies the partnership between Prairie Quest Consulting and the United States Army. At this time, Colonel Menace will present the certificate of appreciation and plaque to Prairie Quest Consulting on behalf of the United States Army PACE program. At this time, Colonel Menace will provide the closing remarks.
Okay. Yeah. And again, I just want to thank everyone for coming today. Significant again that we see how the nation's trying to take care of our soldiers. I'm excited about it. Particularly, half of our cadets each year, we can mission about 5,700. That's a lot of cadets. That's a lot of lieutenants, by the way. Go into the reserves. So when they get home, most of them were competing for active duty, frankly, and then are happy to be in the reserve, but they need a job, right? And so it's really great that they have a foot in the door and a place to start. And what I also like is there's connection before they get out. So they're already working with these folks to build this relationship before they get out. So it's not like they're just out in the streets fending for themselves. So it's very comforting to me that all those reserve officers have a great opportunity through this program. So again, thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.